So I will often look at our celebrity culture as a source of inspiration. And I try to note when folks are doing the right thing. I just noted where Snoop Dogg did something really smart with his daughter, and Shaq has also done some really smart things. I think Beyonce and Oprah, and there's a lot of folks who are positive role models in the music and entertainment business. I also tried to do some cautionary tales using them as examples. And this is one. Cardi B, who, as we all know, is a major star, seems to think that this party is going to last forever. She spends, she says, $3 million a month. That's her spend rate. Let me help you with the math. That's $36 million a year. That's without having up months where I'm sure she spends, if that's what she thinks she spends every month, she spends more than that. But let's just take her numbers on their face value. That's 36 million, call that $40 million a year. Most people don't make that in their entire career. That's $180 million, the lower number, in 5 years. That's just under, we'll call it with inflation, certainly $400 million, probably closer to $500 million in 10 years. Michael Jackson couldn't do that. I guess she has a publishing deal or something where she'd get a check for 65 or $70 million, or half of that right away. I think that if she sells some of her publishing is what she was referring to. As you can see in this example, that's only a year or two of her spending. When your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead will be your downfall. And that career will not last forever. It may not last another 5 years. I'm not hating. I hope she can work for a lifetime. We should not have to work for a lifetime. But what happens with NFL and NBA players, as an example, is that's why they call this making a living. And that's why being rich is different than being wealthy. Making a living, that's literally, it's cash flow. Cash flow, making a living. So you can make a living at $36,000 a year. You can make a living at $3.6 million a year. It is hard to keep making a living at $36 million a year. I don't care how many records you sell. I don't care what you do. To sustain that, rocking a mic, touring, brand deals, whatever, is very, very hard. One slip, one change, a health issue, your voice goes out, the market changes, the music changes, the industry changes, you get some bad publicity, and you're done. I just believe that you should underestimate and overperform, then overestimate and underperform. But this is not even about that. This is about just being rational. Michael Jackson, biggest pop star ever, really was broke technically when he passed away, but he was wealthy, so it's broke on cash flow. That's why he went on tour, by the way. Was going on tour, but he was wealthy because of his publishing rights. He had bought the Beatles catalog, which was brilliant. He had his own portfolio and other. It was $1 billion portfolio in partnership with Sony that kept going up in value. So that publishing rights are assets like home ownership, like small business ownership, like stocks, like bonds. And so she's talking about a fraction of his publishing rights, and she's talking about cashing it out. So all this is bad. Like, the cash flow won't last. The wealth is going to go away. I don't know what investments she's made, but in order to sustain a lifestyle of $36 million a year, you'd have to have about $3.5 billion minimum of investments, $3.5 billion of investments where you don't touch the principal, to throw off a minimum at a 10% return. That kind of cash, these numbers are so big it's crazy, $500 million nest egg, which I say respectfully, I don't think she has. This is a problem waiting to happen. Now, she's earning a lot of money now. She's doing really well now. This is the time to stop the madness, stop the craziness. Don't be arrogant, don't be cocky. Ambassador Andrew Young said that men and women fail for 3 reasons: arrogance, pride, and greed. She seems to have pride and doesn't seem to be greedy, but there's a little bit of arrogance in a statement like sort of popping off and saying I made $3 million a month. I spent $3 million a month. Can't get this out through my head. It's so crazy to me. And this is no big deal. I can do this easily. No, I don't care who you are. Nobody does that easily. One of my billionaire friends, and he's very, 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 very wealthy. His passive income is about $150, $200 million a year. I'm talking about multi-billion. So, and he invests that and spends that very conservatively. So we're talking about a person here talking about just flaking off $40 million a year on lifestyle. I wish her all the luck. I'm not hating on her. I'm hoping that she gets a rainbow after what this looks like a coming storm. So somebody needs to talk to her. or just share this video with her. And go see a Hope Financial Coach. They can get you on the right track. And go get my book, Financial Literacy for All, #1 still, by the way. And listen to my podcast, Money and Wealth. New episodes every Thursday. John O'Brien.